I want to hear Reed Forgrave of FoxSports.com, of course. I want to hear your Elite Eight. So let's start with the South, and then we'll work our way out west. Who do you have in your Elite Eight? Mr. Expert, Reed Forgrave.
I have, and this, I know it feels dumb going with chalk, but I have Florida over Kansas.
Wait, come back to me for a second. Didn't you just say that you could see Eastern Kentucky pulling an upset over Kansas?
Good. I also said that I don't think it'll happen, but I don't see any 2-15 seeds happening.
Okay. All right. So moving along, who do you have out west?
Out west, Arizona, my future national champion, over Creighton.
Okay, so you have Creighton going to your Elite Eight over Wisconsin, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Why is that exactly?
I think Creighton, first of all, if they shoot the ball as well as they can shoot the ball, they could go out and beat the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night. If you saw the first game against Villanova when they blew them out of the water, it was like historically great three-point shooting performance in the first half. And that's, if they get hot, they could go all the way. And the thing about them is they're very, very consistent. They're not, almost every guy in their roster can shoot the three ball. So it wouldn't shock me to see them beat Arizona, in fact.
Obviously, you already tipped your hat a little bit to Arizona. Please don't do that again. Here we go. Going out to the Midwest, I'm just going to go out on a limb that you have Wichita State in your Elite Eight.
How'd you know?
I just had a feeling.
You know me.
You come on. I've seen the stories you write. You love the underdog stories, and it still feels like, it's odd to say, but it still feels like Wichita State, because they probably have to get through Kentucky, who I believe will beat Kansas State. That's another team that's overlooked. We didn't look at Kansas State at all, but I still believe like they obviously have the hardest draw with Louisville and a few others in that same region. But it still feels like they're the underdog, even though they're the 1 seed.
Isn't that bizarre? I feel like when we're talking about upsets, the biggest upset in my entire bracket, and I'm spoiling it once again, is I have Wichita State going to the Final Four. And it feels like, 5% of America's picking that, even though they're a 1 seed. I love Wichita State. You know me. I do feel like I'm voting a little bit, or picking a little bit with my heart over my head there. But, I do think last year I was talking Wichita State up from January on.
Yes, you were.
And then when it came down to filling out my bracket, I put them in the Sweet 16, which was an upset. But I didn't put them all the way to the Final Four, and I was kicking myself for it. So this year, going to go with the heart.
Okay, so who do you have them playing and beating in the Elite Eight?
I have them beating
Michigan, I assume?
Duke.
Oh, you have Duke. Okay, why did you pick Duke over Michigan exactly?
Not really. Coach K, I guess. Jabari Parker. Star power in coaches and players. I have very little faith in that pick.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate the honesty as always on this medium at TYT Sports. Going to the East, you had Iowa State in your Elite Eight. Who do you have them playing?
I have them playing and losing to Michigan State. Michigan State, tons of injuries in January and February, but they're healthy now. They're clicking. They won the Big Ten tournament. I think that is. Going into the season, they were my national champion pick. They're looking like that team once again now that they're healthy.
Now, don't you feel like, again, I mean, we're talking from an objective perspective here. Don't you feel like that a lot of people, whether it's experts on not just Fox Sports, but other fantastic mediums, that they, and some of your rival mediums, that even, and the fans are taking Michigan State because they are one of the 2 most underseeded teams in the tournament?
If you look at the Vegas odds, which is essentially crowdsourcing, that's what Vegas does, Florida is considered the favorite, which is a good call.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 are 4 seeds. It's Louisville and Michigan State, which is bizarre. I'd love to see if that's ever happened in Vegas NCAA tournament history.
Sure.
They are underseeded. Both. You know what? I take that back. Michigan State is not underseeded. They are a 4 seed. They're just better than being a 4 seed. Their resume indicates they should be a 4 seed. But it doesn't indicate how healthy they are. Louisville's one of the worst seedings I've seen in NCAA history. I mean, they're way closer to a 1 seed than they are a 4 seed. I had them as a 2 seed. I think it's ridiculous they're 4. hugely unfair to my boys in Wichita.
And also in Manhattan, Rick Pitino is going up against a former assistant, which he absolutely hates. So in your Final Four, I believe you already told some of us, but you have Florida, Arizona, Wichita State, and Michigan State. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now who do you have in your national championship game?
Arizona over Michigan State in a close defensive game. I would say 66-64. And it'll be won by a Nick Johnson shot in the last minute.
Really? Will it be from, will it be like from Gordon Hayward range? Is that what you're saying?
No. In the last minute. We'll say like 40 seconds
last minute,
left.
excuse me. I did not hear that part.
Yeah,
All right, well, there it is.
Shot,
All right, well, Reed Forgrave, it's always a pleasure having you on. I always appreciate the honesty and the fantastic opinions that you generate and basically your no-filter approach, which is very, very refreshing from someone in the mainstream media. I absolutely appreciate it. But there you have it. I'm just going to give this one more time. University of Florida against Michigan State. Michigan State going to the national championship game in Reed's bracket. Arizona against Wichita State. Arizona going to the national championship game. And Nick Johnson hitting the somewhat game winner within the last minute of play. Reed Forgrave, you can follow him on Twitter at Reed Forgrave and follow his great writing. You can find all of those links in the description below. Reed, we will absolutely have you on again. I know that you're game for it, but again, we always appreciate the honest and very refreshing thoughts from you. So thank you.
As long as I don't get in hit and run accidents on my way to our session, I will always be there for you.
Welcome to LA. All right, thank you.